MK and I am here with a design team layout for Shimmerz paints. I am also combining this with Mixed Media Mayhem on Friday. This is the layout that I have found that had very minimal mixed media, but it also matched the layout by Jennifer Kane for 30 days of sketches this go around. So the layout that I found that matches with a little bit of mixed media is by Scrappy Kathy, and she has a blog that will be mentioned down below. So here I'm showing you guys a couple of scraps that I found to go ahead and use on this layout, because mostly it's just the layers behind the photo, and then after that it's one or two pieces of paper for the background, couple mixed media, and that is it. So I thought I would show that to you guys. I'm using this waxy flax that is uber old from Close to My Heart. I can't wait to start using that up and get it out of my stash. I have a couple of book phrases from Tim Holtz. This package that was created by Dusty Attic for $49 in Market, it had these birds, or seagulls I should say, on it, which look like the exact ones that were used in the layout. I also have some assemblage required bare branches, and these ones are just sort of practice cuts when I was doing it, but they are adhesive backed for this project, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'll also be using packaging for this layout to get the most of my paint. I'm thinking about using this Sturgis photo, but I'm not sure if I can get the second photo on this layout because I want to stick pretty true to the inspiration layout. Now I have in Nouveau Stone Drops, I have Rusted Iron, which I think was an exclusive, and then this one here, Crushed Aloe, that I plan on using for my branches, but the rusted iron was a little bit hard to get out, so I cut that part out. I also have some Vibes, Rose Gold Red, and Hot Fudge, and I was just trying to show you guys the colors of them. And then in Inklings, I have Frosty Buns and Steely Blue Eyes. I plan on mixing those two blues to get the blue that I'm looking for. And then I have a Creamies that Sage It Ain't So, and a Shimmerz that says Key Lime. And so I love the sage one. It is just a beautiful green, but I want to see if the key lime works as well. And then from the $49 in Market Anywhere collection, I'm going to use the fragments because this one has that red, that green, that blue. It is beautiful. It's beautiful on the other side as well, but this map print had all the colors that I was looking for in just one piece of paper. It was perfect. I also plan on using this strip, I almost said scrap, this strip of brown for when I rip the paper in half and want that dark piece showing in behind. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my photo down to 3 by 4, and then like I said, I was debating on whether or not to add a second photo, and then I decided not to. I need to figure out if I can lighten that photo up just a little bit before I go ahead and start chopping it up and whatnot. So I'll add it in later. It was just a unique structure that my husband found driving through Sturgis. So anyways, I went ahead and I cut out all of my layers for my photo mats. I plan on using an edge distresser to edge distress all of the layers, and I plan on using my Shimmerz paints to paint the cardboard as well as paint the white cardstock, because I didn't have a cardstock in that perfect blue that I was looking for. I'm also going to very gently scuff up the edges of my photo, just so that way it added to, I didn't want any harsh lines. So I forgot to preset my colors, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now because I was ready to paint this blue, and then I realized, I have to let them sit for a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and work on my branches. Now this is the part that I'm going to take apart or cut out because of the fact that I couldn't get my darker stone drop to come out. I don't know if I accidentally left the lid off too long and the top portion has dried, because once I stuck a needle all the way down, the it's not material, but the product is still good down below. I just can't get it past the nozzle. And so I think that all that was dried out and I need to mix it up a little bit. So anyways, it was just time consuming and I took it all out. So I just wanted that the dark effect, but I also wanted it mixed with this beautiful green because it's a sagey green as well. All right, so I'm going to go back to my photo mat and start with the frosty buns. And it was a little bit too light, but then I used it as it was just like I wetted my paper down to get the color to move. So then I went back with Steely Blue Eyes and went ahead and painted all of it. Now I painted more on the left side than I did on the right because it's going to stick out a little bit more over on that side as opposed to the right side. Well, then I ended up flipping it anyways, but that's okay. I wanted more color on one side than the other because of how messy the photos were going to be. Okay, so now I'm going to paint the edge of my cardboard with the key lime, so that way I could get the color to, I don't know, move down the groove, if I should say, just because I didn't want to paint the whole thing, but I wanted a little bit of distressed look by adding this paint. I'm also very, very shocked at after it dried. Now the color wasn't as vibrant as you see it right now, but the shimmer was. It's almost like the color soaked in, but the shimmer stayed right on top. And I was just impressed. Well, the key lime ended up being just a bit too bright for me. It wasn't the color I was looking for. I was hoping that it would be if I added it to the cardboard because then it would tone it down, but it ended up being just still a little bit too bright. So I went back through and added the Sage It Ain't So, and it was perfect. It ended up being exactly what I had imagined. Okay, so now I'm going to figure out where to paint my my diamond behind my photo, and I'm just going an inch larger both above and below my photo. That way I've got all that paint sticking out and I don't have to attach my photo and risk getting paint on my photo when I'm trying to mix it. So I'm going to get a lot of paint on my paper by doing the packaging technique, and I absolutely love the Sage It Ain't So green. It is such a gorgeous green. I love it. And then of course it falls beautifully on my paper. Like, first time ever that happens, it's like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted it to do. Yay. So I'm just getting the paint to move where I want it to move. Because I know that with the packaging technique, I'm not going to get it exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my paintbrush to finish it off. Well, once I do the diamond, I realize that it's not big enough. So I'm going to come back in after I have painted the sage on my cardboard. I'm going to go ahead and use my cardboard to help me figure out how much more paint I need. And oh my gosh, when I did those splatters, that was amazing. Oh, they just turned out so beautiful and they dried even better. Oh my gosh. You guys, I can't boast enough about these colors. I absolutely love them. I really, really do. So anyways, I have to go do more splatters because they just turned out amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. And after it is dried, I'm going to rip it right down where the diamond, the tips of the diamonds, and then go ahead and scuff up my papers. Now that my blue paper is dried, I'm going to scuff it up as well. But I'm going to try to scuff up the edges so that way I can peel back some of the portions and get that brown to really show through and just be a sliver of boldness, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This is where I was trying to get my branches to be a little on the darker side because I didn't want just one section to be so bold. I wanted to bring in those branches and whatnot. So, and of course my photo is also a little on the darker side as well. So it was taken from inside of a vehicle, and and of course it was almost dark. But my husband definitely is like, I went to Sturgis. Actually, he drove through it. Nothing was open by the time. He's like, yeah, it's like tourist town over here. There was nothing open past noon. It was weird. So, but yes, he was very happy, and we actually have a vacation planned to where we're going to go to Mount Rushmore, and he wants to take the long route so we can go back through Sturgis. Okay, so I'm just using my ruler to make sure that when I add the gap, that it will be still 12 inches. Now I do have to go back to my trimmer and slice off 1/8 of an inch because I just wanted a very, very skinny gap. I did not want, you know, an in your face, I am here gap, you know. I just really wanted it to be super thin. So here's where you can see why I added a little bit more blue on one side than I did on the whole thing. Is because I wanted my photo to be just slightly off askew and not be, you know, smack dead center in the on the photo mat. Also, I love adding this pink in. It's actually like a, I'm not sure, like a mauve. I really did like that add-on, and it's also in my, like I said, in my background paper. But then that's where that ruby red, the gold red comes in from Shimmerz. And so I do like having that tiny little bit of off color. I don't know how to say it, you guys. It was just a really cool color. Okay, so I'm going to add this waxy flex. I'm not sure, you guys. It's the weirdest string ever, and it's super sticky, but it was absolutely perfect for this layout. I just had to get out the harsh edges. It didn't come in a circle. It didn't come in like twine does when it's wrapped around a rod. This one came with little corners, and I had to just work those corners out. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it quite a few times so it's visible on my layout. If I only did 1 or 2, it definitely would not have stuck out as much as me doing it 4 times. And then I've got my little branches that I'm going to add here and there, and add another small little circle piece down at the bottom. I am sticking pretty true to the inspiration layouts as far as the design and everything. I just thought that it was worth a mention if you guys are playing along with 30 Days of Sketches. I'm sorry, Christy. That Jennifer Kane's layout definitely, it is almost identical to this particular layout. And I say almost because she's got 3 photos, which would have definitely been perfect. But if you take the 2 smaller photos down at the bottom and replace it with this this decor, this tree decor that I'm doing now, and then you move over the main one over her stitched line, I mean, it's beautiful. It does. It's I was shocked when Janet actually pointed out that, hey, these are almost identical, and it's like, oh my gosh, they are. So I thought it was worth a mention. Okay, so I'm taking one of the chipboard pieces from 49 and Market by Dusty Attic, and going ahead and painting the whole thing with steely blue eyes. Then I wanted an ombre effect on the word exploring, so I went ahead and added the frosty buns on top of the steely blue eyes, so that way they bled together, and I got the perfect little combination of what's it called again? Ombre effect. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my hot fudge spray and paint my M-birds, and I left a big old dollop in the center where their body goes, so that way it stays richer, the color stays richer, and then their wings fade out. So once they dry, and it's really cool, this chipboard, which is almost like balsa wood, it is definitely different. It soaks up the color really well and really fast, so there was hardly any drying time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add my little branches, and having that sticky back on the wood is just fantabulous. It makes putting these layouts together so super fast. Now I did add extra glue to the one down at the bottom because I was holding down some twine, and I wanted to make sure that it got smushed in place and it wasn't going to go anywhere. So yes, I did add extra glue down there, only because of the slight bulk that was in there. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some tiny word stickers, and because I'm going over some chipboard, I went ahead and added a little bit of foam adhesive on the back so that way it stayed a little sturdy. I should have put it on cardboard, or cardstock before actually adhering it down, but I didn't realize they were so super thin until I've already added it to my project. So I'm going to go ahead and put another one underneath the Never Stop Exploring title as well, just so that way I can have that color, because I felt like that color down at the bottom stuck out. I didn't have it anywhere else on the layout, and so I wanted to add it one more time at least. I really do like how minimalist this layout looks, but yet it looks like I did so much because of the background paper. The background paper seriously did a lot of work. I definitely could have added a little bit of distress stamping in there to bring it out, but honestly, because of this paper, I did not have to do hardly anything. The last thing I'm going to do for this layout is go ahead and add some sprinkles in the hot fudge, as well as the ruby red gold spray, and then that way I can have that beautiful red color, you guys. I just was so shocked adding that extra little bit of color into the layout. It was just, I don't know, it was a happy woohoo type of deal. I don't know, it just brings color into the layout other than blue and green. Okay, that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me for this design team layout, also for Mixed Media. And I don't want to say I joined Christy's Beautiful Life today. I just wanted to point out how similar it is. Should you guys be working with this sketch for today. I also wanted to point out where Shimmerz is having a sale. It started on the 19th and it goes until the 23rd of this month, which is October 2022, in case you guys are watching this layout in the future. But I wanted to point out that they are having a sale if you guys are interested. I love it when they have sales, because then you get to try something that you've never tried before, and for a pretty cheap price, if that makes sense. I hate using the word cheap, but I like that because of the fact that you get to test stuff that you would not have tested before, because of if you don't like it, right? So be sure to use the code FALL40 at checkout, get 40% off. Also too, if you mention my name in the checkout description, or the checkout comments, I should say, then you get a little freebie. And I think that is so super cool. We always like free stuff. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I really, truly appreciate it. I will try to come back with another video shortly. All right, bye.